Good evening. Thank you for coming to special stream. Special stream. We're going to be doing something a little fun tonight. A little different. I hope it turns out well. We'll see. Happy Halloween. Thank you, thank you. We're gonna get started. We'll see how far we get. I don't have a spooky voice, but you know, we'll do what we can. Thank you for coming tonight. This is what we're gonna be doing tonight, guys. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much. I was kind of worried that no one would show up because it's a little late, but it's Halloween time, it's spooky time. And we're going to do an EGA make as per the poll. And it's going to be Hades. I think this is going to be a fun one to do. It's a nice little piece. I think I see a lot of familiar colors. And am I on the proper screen? I'm not. I thought I had a shortcut for that. The shortcut is Creepy Photoshop is Control 5. There we go. So, let's get started, shall we? Great. So how was everyone's Halloween? And no, I haven't had this on my face all day. I'm just going to catch up on chat a little bit. I told myself that maybe I was just going to not say a single thing this entire time that I'm doing, just work devilishly fast on this piece. But I figured, you know what, I can't. I need to engage. So that fell by the wayside pretty quick. Amberzine, thank you for the sub. Cosmic Void, thank you for the sub. Davor, awesome, 4 months with Prime, fantastic. Thank you guys so much. We're gonna get started. Is the lighting okay? Should I go darker again? Which do you prefer? Lights on or lights off? No Halloween in Russia, me, Pian? I'm sorry to hear. It's one of my favorite holidays. Art people love Halloween, I think, as a rule. Light on? Light off? It's pretty much the same. Right, let's get started. So, we've got Hades here. First thing we have to solve is what resolution this is going to be in. It's about the same. All right, cool. So, let's see what size it is right now. It's clearly going to be way too big for us. So what I like to do... Did people do anything fun for Halloween? Did you? You know what? I need my tunes. Let's put the tunes on. I don't have scary music. I just have the one playlist. So let's do that. I watched Blood... Oop. Sorry. I watched Blood Quantum today, which is a Canadian zombie movie, and it was pretty good. Not scary music. But, oh my gosh, thirsty. So what I like to do, oop, that wasn't good. I like to save a file. I'm going to downres one just to get a vague pixel dimension that I want to do. Half is going to be about 6 something, which still might be a bit high. I want to go even lower. Let's try downsizing to 40%. Blood Quantum, and it's great. It was filmed, I think it was filmed in Ontario. 516. Let's check the pixel size at 516 pixels wide. Is it a size I feel like working in? Mode. Feel that's still a bit big. Let's just do that again. And actually, what I'm interested in is as well is what's people's favorite candy? When I was a kid, I really liked rockets. Rockets being kind of, they came in a roll, and they were just kind of tart. So, I don't know. I kind of like the non-sweet stuff now. When I was a kid, the thing I liked the most was the little bags of chips. Let's try even smaller. Let's try 30%, see where that takes us. In terms of pixel size, if it's a pixel size I want to work in. Let's see. Ooh, I like that. I think we've got it. It's the first thing to decide. Yeah, good, perfect. Okay, so this is our working size. 387 by 218. Chocolate. Yes, Americans call our rockets Smarties. So yes, Smarties. Ooh, Judith Butler's Lover, Milky Way. You booked a movie ticket for The Shining on Wednesday. Nice. Yeah. Actually, I started watching What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show. It's pretty cute. We're going to start here. Next thing I might want to look at is what if I force this to index colored? Oh, it is index colored. Interesting. But it's not the right palette, is it? So let's shift it to RGB. Let's shift it to an index color of my choice. And, oh, it is 16. So here it is at 16 color, and we already know what happens when we try to do that on any piece. You lose a lot. So this part of the process, I'm trying to decide my approach. If I'm going to completely redo everything, or if I'm going to... There's some good stuff here. The good thing about this piece is it's got some nice strong shapes, but you can see we're losing just about all the color and that subtle gradation that we'll get back with dithering. One thing you've never seen in is an accurate representation of a screenshot in amber monochrome. That's a pretty good challenge. I gotta take a look. And good to see you, Last Train Dude. Yes, you came for the spooky one, but I don't know. I don't have a spooky voice. Coke flavored gummy candies. Do you like the chewy gummy ones? Or, oh yeah, the Coke flavored chewy gummy ones. I'm pretty fond of those myself. So, what we can do to get to save some of that color, we can try jacking up saturation. We'll see where that takes us. Although Hades is now, I don't know, the guy's not named Hades. I haven't played the game, so that's kind of embarrassing. But his skin tone is supposed to be gray, so we're not going to stray too far from that. But see, we're saving some color information. I don't know. It might be a good starting off point. So let's open up the original file. Take a look. Hades. Great. Oh, that's the one we just had. Hades. This one. Okay, so keeping this one in mind, I'm constantly looking at the reference, because you don't want to go too far. You can see he should not be that brown color, unfortunately. So, why don't we start... Where do you think? You haven't had a chewy gummy Coke candy in ages, Lost Train Dude? I do like gummies. We have gourmet gummies here now, that's a thing. Fujiya. And, yeah, you're on the island, right? So you get some Japanese flavor. Fujiya sounds like a Japanese place. Okay, so let's get started in here. Why don't we start right in the middle, right here? You can see where, you know, there's almost no detail. So we're going to go in and we're going to save some of that. We're going to bring it back. And I really don't like the brown that they've given here, but you know, we start with what we start with. So let's do this. What else for Halloween? This is really easy. This is an easy one for Halloween. I will say that. I tend to go just lean in for the easy. Zagreus. Thank you, Judith Butler's lover. Meepian locums. They're also called Turkish Delight. I don't think I've had good Turkish Delight. We have packaged Turkish Delight here, but I'm sure when you make it fresh, it's good stuff. Zeliard vibes from DNA Beast gets Zeliard vibes from Hades. I've never played Zeliard. I've only heard the name. Okay, so let's get in here. Let's start with the face. The art in this game, I don't think I need to tell anybody. It's amazing. This is actually quite a challenging size here. We're gonna just pick back his eye here, I think. We're gonna give that brightness again. In here, I'm gonna take back. I really don't like that gray.
I couldn't find any enabled video skills that can do that.
Seriously?
Go to the Alexa app to manage your video skills and devices.
Did you just? I hope you did not hear that. That's ridiculous. Okay. We're gonna take this yellow in here, and we're just gonna scrub over that. It's just way too distracting for me. And actually, we're gonna take. Yes, we're gonna make that the light gray. And yeah, I don't know. I've not played the game, but the art is just the best art ever. It's gorgeous, and I thought, hey, it's somewhat thematic. Does the creaminess get totally lost with my voice being normal? Let's get in here. I might make his face totally light gray. What are some people's favorite Halloween costumes that they've done? When I was a kid, my mom, she makes quilts and things, and she's a pretty good seamstress. And she made some really good quality costumes for us, where so when we were kids, we would wear the same ones over and over again because they were such good quality, they would last. You know, they were sewn from patterns and all kinds of things. So that's kind of when I got older and I couldn't fit into those anymore. That's the only time I started to really pick what I was going to be. You got your early education from Hades from Quest for Glory 4, Anna? Hades. I think I was one of those kids that was really into Greek mythology. I got into that really early, and one of the books I used to take out from the library a lot had the phonetic spellings of stuff. But by the time I saw those, I had already come up with my completely wrong ways to pronounce things. So it was already too late. But when I saw it, it was pretty instructive. This red that's on his face, what do we want that to be? Let's take that all out to gray, I think. Quest for Glory 5, and okay, yeah, I haven't played Quest for Glory 5. So yeah, when I was in college, I did, there's a character by David Mack called Kabuki, and I painted, the shirt has a rising sun on it, so that was pretty easy. I just painted the rising sun. I don't remember if I did face paint for that. I may have. I think I did. And she had these scythes that I made of illustration board and duct tape. Another year, it was, you know what, we're losing some of that shadow. Another year, it was Gogo Yubari from Kill Bill. That was a fun one. Wow, Judith Butler's lover. When you were in elementary school, 4th grade, both your mom and you decided you'd go to school as a street prostitute. Oh, wow. That's pretty bold of mom. Me being also into Greek mythology and to Egyptian. I liked Egyptian too, I think maybe because of Dagger from Mon-Ra. We're losing his ear here. Let's get in here with the ear. But yeah, I mean, I loved all the deity stuff. Yeah. It's kind of a hard. He's got a little bit of red on his ear, so we're going to try to keep that. I really like there's a bit of a shadow here on this part of his eye, which we're going to bring back, I think, just a little bit. Jim plays games. Howdy, Julia in chat. What did I miss? Galactic Discat, good to see you. This would be a good demake. Yeah, Galactic Discat. This is why I picked this with the reds and yellows. I think it's going to come out really nicely. So we'll see how long this takes us. Jim, all you missed was low light and actually, you know why this isn't as low of a light? It's I gotta change the scene. Give me a second. It's creepier when the light is worse. So let's do that. And let's turn off that music. It's kind of killing the mood. For those who are joining late. Yep, that's what we're up to today. But yeah, I can't not have music on. I didn't give myself time to pick any. So here we are. And let's change back to. Here we go. Great. I did this look on a business call. They said you can dress up, so I did. Yeah, hello hero protagonist. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here we are. Let's get back to this. Let's get back to work. Okay. I want to make some decent headway here. Look at this. You know, look. Look how beautiful this is. Look at this red and green. Just that. Oh my goodness. I'm really glad I'm doing this also because the art is so good that the more I look at it, the greater an appreciation I get for it. Yeah, the lighting is incredible. I don't want to lose this that's happening here, this coolness that's happening here. We might have to shift it around, but I'm going to place it so I don't forget that it's there. Yeah, Jim Plays Games. I started by kind of taking the original, which was 1290 by 725, and I started to size it down to see what size pixel I wanted to work at, and I settled I think at 40% size, because I liked the size that this was going to be. I felt it was blocky enough to read as blockiness, so that's kind of that's usually when I do a demake. That's usually the first decision I'm making. I'm just trying to decide what dimension I'm going to work on, because that's really going to dictate everything else. So the lighting is just incredible on this, and I don't want to lose it. So these might disappear eventually, but these are like notes to myself, so to remember that it's there. And I'm tempted to just kind of really work it. But yeah, so we also have to make sure we don't lose the delicate angles here of the cheekbone in there, and we might actually, it's a matter of just going by eye, seeing what we can pull out. And yes. Oh, did I not do the spooky intro? I thought I switched back to it just to give a sample. I could have sworn I'd switched back, but yeah, the intro was low light like that. Super grainy. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh boy. Yes. Just to make sure that no one misses it, because I did wrong scene. Yeah, so I did want to give you guys a little bit of Halloween fun, because yeah, like I said, I like Halloween. It's my friends and I in school, we would dress up, we would make our own costumes because we were art students. Look at the yellow on his ear too. This is so much to see. And because there's yellow on the ear, we're gonna knock this back for now so I don't lose the shape of the ear. What other costumes have I made? Not really many. I didn't really tend to go places, so I didn't really dress up that much. But oh yeah, you know what? Let's bring this down. And his eye, I'm gonna play up the white probably, because I do want that to stand out on this side. I might lose that the dark green there because it's kind of drawing attention to itself. I want to make the eyes stand out better. Like that. Oh, Halloween never much of a thing in the UK. Oh, let me check the stream activity. Yeah, it's one of those. It's new activity. Joshador 64, thanks for the follow. Yeah, I really appreciate it. This is. I'm not going to say this is not like a usual stream because it actually is quite similar to a usual stream, except I don't usually dress up like a scary thing. And often I'm working on my own work. This is a piece that I wanted to do an EGA make. I haven't done one in a while, and they're fun, and I'm looking forward to sharing it on the internet later. But what we're looking at here is the magic of this for me is trying to reinterpret what I'm seeing, going by what is here right now, and at this lower resolution. And it takes a bit of work. I know Edenwaith, who I don't think is here today. Edenwaith has been working on doing algorithms other people have to make something EGA just at the press of a button. And the great thing for me is that it doesn't always work out results-wise that way. And that just goes to show how it does take a bit more than just pressing a button. It's not really going to be an algorithm for it because the human eye is going to discern things that the computer won't be able to, even if it's an AI, I don't think. And also just interpretation of it. So right now I've got this is like I'm going to have to bring his neck out a bit to keep that shape. Little decisions like that happen, a lot of them, and it's really part of the fun for me. So let's get in there. Ooh, in Croatia, Halloween is All Hallows Eve. It's religious. You clean your family graves, etc. You do have a carnival, which is like Halloween. That's a nice tradition to have for sure. Hello, Mads Hatter. Good to see you. Yeah, Jim plays games. It's tricky to reproduce the fine details. You have to imply then rather than directly drawing the line. Yeah, exactly. It's not just about that. It's also interpretation, totally. And yeah, so that's why I enjoyed. And I haven't done one of these in a really long time. I've done Kentucky Route Zero. I've done. I did Animal Crossing, and what else? What else fun? A lot of fun. I do enjoy doing these, and I'm kind of amazed that I got through that entire Kentucky Road Zero one, just on one stream. It was a pretty long stream, but getting through it in one stream, I actually surprised myself there. We're losing that green, but right now I'm concentrating most of my energy and attention on bringing his face back, bringing it to be the right color, and getting rid of this brown, which is what happened when I pumped up the saturation. And that's another big deal with the EGA and trying to convert it by AI is that the color that you get is not going to be what the color we want to get. A lot of it does get completely lost. Especially when you get down to this resolution, you're going to be, a lot of stuff is just going to get completely eaten. Okay, let's see. Let's work up more in his head. I want to get a feeling of the shapes that we're making here. So. Oh, thanks, Last Train Dude. The Animal Crossing one. That was challenging. That was a lot of stuff happening, and there was a lot of different levels of attention and stuff. Like this one is a lot. Well, I don't want to speak too soon, but I feel like it's going to be a bit simpler to accomplish. And I'm using a mouse right now because none of this is requiring any type of brush stroke or anything. We have some laurels around his head, so which are totally getting lost here. So we're gonna basically draw this in. I think that's what's gonna be required. Oh, do the Butler's Lover. You have I don't know how to pronounce that. I apologize. You have Mascar, which is hard to explain. The Night of Masks and Disguises, which is like another Halloween, except it's much older. Comes from an ancient Slavic festival. I think a lot of cultures have, the idea of a mask, and the significance of that is, of course, different for everyone. But There's something about, I think, humans that want to be able to assume a different identity temporarily. That's something that's really appealing, and just not be who you are temporarily. I can see the appeal. And we're gonna. I don't like outlining things when I do pixel art. I tend to consider it more like painting than drawing. But to define this shape, I might cheat a little bit and do an outline at the top, because I don't want it to be black necessarily. Although that is the style, so maybe I will do that. And let's see. Yeah, this brown I'm not a fan of. I might go back in and work that in later, but I don't like it as being there on its own. Exactly, if Jim plays games. That's something we do through video games, becoming a new character in a different world. Trying a new identity on for a spin. There's a quote I really enjoy. It's, for book lovers, and I think a lot of you probably already know it. It's about how you can, when you read books, you can live 1,000 lives, and it's true. And I think, especially for kids, it can be important to explore different ideas, and different ways of thinking in a safe way. And that can be done through books, it can be done through movies. I think it's really valuable for kids to have that experience and empathize with characters and learn from other people's experiences. Ooh, that sounds fun. Bonfires, dancing in circles, demons, comedy, devils. Yeah. And a celebration more than just for kids. Yeah. Another quote I like about reading is that how it's an act of empathy. Speaking of empathy, I think it's the most important thing is to, for especially growing up, is to have that as an idea. Yeah, the colors in this piece actually are shockingly EGA-like, which I think maybe that's what drew me to it. Beyond the fact that the piece is just gorgeous. And I should look up the name of the artist. I am following them on Twitter. So let me quickly do that, because I do want to give credit where credit is due. So let's see. Anyone have the name of the Hades artist? I would know it to read it. Game artist. I think Hades game artist. Jen Zee on Twitter. At 0GenZ0 on Twitter. Oh, just amazing work. Oh, interesting, due to Butler's lovers. So the tradition varies from village to village. Some are downright horror films, some are cheeky. And I like that too. I really appreciate that. What about scary books? I haven't really been reading anything particularly scary recently, but I had a Stephen King phase, which I think a lot of people have or are continuing to have. He's said something about his writing that's really visceral. I remember enjoying, probably too young, enjoying Needful Things. It's a pretty good one for horror. I also, of course, read The Stand, which is not really horror, but kind of horrific. That's a kind of a fun one to go by. It's long. You're gonna definitely get your money's worth with Stephen King. Oh, Cosmic Boy 3, thanks for dropping by. I appreciate it. It already has so much charm. Thank you. I can't wait to share it out when it's finished. Oh, Anna, yeah, you like The Stand as well? I also like the miniseries. I like the TV series with Gary Sinise and Rob Lowe. And the guy who played Randall Flagg, I think, was really, really genuinely scary in that. I don't know. I rewatched it, and I think it holds up, but I know people find it cheesy. I've got real big nostalgia goggles, though. Real thick nostalgia goggles for that. Oh, there's a TV version of Desperation and the Regulators. Yeah, you know what, to come to think of it, I haven't really read a lot of Stephen King. I think I've only read, did I even read Pet Sematary? Like, honestly, some of them seem like they'd be too scary even to read. I think I was intimidated by Pet Sematary and never read it. I can't remember other Stephen King stuff I've read. I know he also does non-horror stuff, but this is too tall now. And sometimes you got to make shapes bigger to translate, but I might not do that yet. There's a bit of yellow here that I don't want to lose. It's these little, it's the little details, the edges of things that Jen Zee has caught that really help define shapes, and I really, 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 really appreciate it. What else do we have? Yeah, so there's a lot of most of this is just by eye. Although this is a bit easier to do than the pixel art commissions I would do, people's portraits and stuff. Those are harder because people know their own faces really well, so you have to really nail it for them to be happy. So that's kind of a bit more difficult to do at this resolution. But it's when they see it, and often people they think it's really cool because they feel like they've become part of one of their games maybe. But this is I think it is a bit easier to do something that is already kind of stylized as it is. Oh, thank you for. Let me check my stream activity here. Oh, why did I open Image Ready? Holy cow! Why is that on? Close that. I can switch to Squaff. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, this is I've done some of these in the past, but this is I miss doing it actually because I feel like I don't need to I can relax more when I'm doing this because it's I don't know, it's not as difficult as making your own art obviously. So there's that. See, we've got some colors here where we've got this beautiful orange color, which EGA palette is famous for not having orange. So we might do some dithering, but of course that is sort of the last part, the last stage of the whole thing. So we're not gonna, I don't know if I'll get there on stream. In fact, I don't know how long we're gonna go with this. I really hope to get a decent amount of progress on this. And I also want to. So you feel like you've gotten your, so to speak, money's worth. Jim Plays Games wants to know, is pixel art portrait always sort of a caricature because you have to exaggerate some of the details to get an impression of the person? And actually that's not how I approach it. I try to be as accurate as possible. When I was doing, when I'd have to do like a portrait for an illustration commission, like I did the Citibank CEO for Business Week and that type of thing, yeah, there's some stylization, and a degree of stylization is always good to help with the recognizing somebody. But for me, I felt like I was never that good of an ultra realistic artist anyway. So if I just tried as hard as I could to make it look real, it would look stylized anyway. So that's how I approached it. I just try to make it as real as possible, and so that's how I approach the EGA portraits. I just try to make it all just completely representational, but it's always going to be stylized for sure. Thank you, Anna. So Anna says she can't speak for me, but certainly didn't feel like any features were exaggerated on yours, except for your good looks. Anna, yes, you sent me a beautiful photo of yourself, and that really helps too when people give good reference. But yeah, I definitely don't try to exaggerate. I just try to represent and slightly enhance too, because yeah, like I said, at this resolution, at this color, you definitely have to. There's a lot of decisions that have to be made. So what do we have? This is a little bit bigger. Has anyone played Hades anyway in stream that can comment on it? Oh, you tried to do pixel art. Jim says, I tried to do pixel art a portrait, but you couldn't get your eyes right. They were either too big or too small. You needed to up the resolution. Yeah, that's the challenge of this low resolution. Is it's either too small, too big. I find that a lot of the time too. So that's when you kind of have to cheat a little bit. I don't want to call it cheat, but you have to. There's a bit of shuffling that goes on sometimes. If anything as big as 1 pixel is huge with this style. And I think about that also with animation. When I see, pixel art animation and there's a lot of movement, I feel like if each pixel is, half a foot of a person, and if there's too much movement, then it just would, if that was realistic, if it was converted to real, it would be way too much movement in a way. So I try to make stuff pretty realistic and subtle altogether. Let's see. Yeah, this is the part where you see he's got a bit of his head coming out here, so we kind of want to show that, which means we might have to cheat a little bit. Yeah, 1 pixel makes such a huge difference at this resolution. Yeah, let's, this is definitely not going to be yellow, so we're just going to fix that a little bit. You bought it, Lost Train, but you still have to play it. You have yet to play it. Yeah, that's a very familiar story, I think, to a lot of us here. Yeah, let's finish up this head, actually. Just a rough of it. We'll get into some other stuff. Then I might wander down to something else, See where the night takes us. And, yeah, the outline, you know what, I probably will stick with the outline that is given here, just because it is pretty accurate to what is shown. 1 pixel away from perfection. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's you can't always get what you want. How about that for a quote? And it's part of the charm of it. You have to use your imagination or your best judgment. Yeah, I want to make sure I retain a lot of these shapes, and they of course are getting a little bit lost here. So we might have to simplify a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to do this. Deluxe Tux, yes, spooky stream. Not so spooky. I wish I had a spooky voice for this. Like a I can't. I don't. Maybe as I get raspier, it'll get spookier on its own. Don't know. But I'm not committed enough to just have done this in complete dead silence. I would be afraid everyone would just leave. So I'm not doing that tonight. I do want to model this hair out better because I can see. Yeah, you know what? I really want this hair. This hair is fantastic. So we're gonna try to keep these shapes. And then this one goes like this. Jen Zee did the art. I'm pretty sure that was the artist on this, the main artist. Full credit. Yeah, it's just something a little fun for Halloween, a little something special. It's just like these celebrations and festivals and our lives that can break up the year. Just something just different from every day, the routine. Let's see. This eye, we're gonna put the green back. It is there after all. Look weird without it. Fix that up. I like the green that's in his hair. Zagreus. Definitely high. Yeah, we're taking some shape here. And actually what I like to do is, we can go back and turn off that layer, see how far we've gotten with it. If I can find the layer palette. Oh, there it is. Yep. We're working our way. It's just the first pass after all. But, and I might go in and maybe do some yellow dithering on the face to give it some warmth, but not bad so far, Been doing this for maybe 30 minutes. How long have we been doing this? 40 already? Anyway. Okay, so the head's going well. I feel comfortable with where that is right now. Let's move down. Move down. Ooh, another Laurel. Ooh, I like the skull face on this little thing there. And here's the beautiful yellow that's being picked up here. So yeah, let's get in there. Let's get in here, do some stuff. His face makes so much more sense now. Thanks, Anna. Yeah. Although I gotta be careful because I can't. This is gonna be a bit of trouble. Do I go with dark gray in here? That probably will have to get dithered back, I think, because we definitely need to keep that definition here. But you can see this yellow is just, it's not doing us any favors. So I'm gonna clean this up. But yeah, I did ask if anyone, thank you for the, I only have one monitor, so. MXYZZY, thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. It's just funny, I'm glad people are finding this stream, because I certainly didn't tag it Hades, because I didn't. The stream title is nonsense completely. So. Anna, oh my goodness, thank you for subscribing. 2-month subscription. I really, really, really appreciate that, Anna. Anna's awesome. Anna, yeah, I did a portrait for Anna. We did a barter, because Anna is a woodworker, and she had these beautiful maple leaf pendant that I traded her a portrait for, and it's actually one of my favorites, Anna, to tell you the truth. My favorite thing actually was when one of her friends on Facebook, when she posted it, said it reminded her of a Leisure Suit Larry girl, because that's exactly what I was going for. Because there's a beautiful picture of Anna, and I wanted to. And I know Anna loves Lo. Anna's met Lo and has gotten to know Lo a little bit, so I'm really glad to make her an Lo girl for sure. One of my favorites. And it's funny because right now I have a spooky Twitter avatar. Usually though I have my own EGA portrait, and it's the first one I ever did, kind of just as a proof of concept almost. But I spent the least amount of time on my own portrait. I just, out of any portrait that I've done commissioned, they all take more time. I've probably taken 2 to 4 times more time on other people's portraits than my own. So I don't know, maybe I'll go back and work on that a bit. But there's just so many things to do that I won't get around to it for quite some time, I don't think. So. Oh, cool, Furroy, one of your college buddies is in the same train club as Al? Nice. Train club, like model trains? Nice. I know that I've stopped buying Lego because I don't have room for it. But the thing I like about Lego is there's so many different areas of interest for Lego people, and there are people that are exclusively train people, who collect the trains, build the train sets, and everything like that. And they often are also Lego city collection people, because then that's how they build out their cities, which is just such a cool way to have a hobby, be even more specific than just general Lego. And there are people who do builds on Twitch for Lego. Let's get in here. I like the little shiny bits on his chest. I'm gonna bring that back. Oop. Yeah. And what else do we have? Yeah, this is another shadow that turned brown. Awful. But if we hadn't pumped up the saturation, we wouldn't have got these beautiful skulls. So, takes a artistic thing to oops, wow, don't want that. Oh, what did I do? I made a vector layer. There is a vector tool in Photoshop, but I don't know anyone who in their right mind would ever use it. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what we do. Oop. Oh, Froy, so you were a Lego Pirate collection collector. Yeah, everyone kind of got their thing. I was big on castle, medieval stuff, because I liked fantasy growing up. But oops, not good. So let's get in here. Actually, yeah, I want to finish off this chest area and this, because it really part of the reason I like doing these demakes is I don't like it when the detail and the form gets lost like this, so I feel this compulsion to go in and fix it. For instance, this, we might do that yellow actually. Let's take a look at the whole thing and see if we want to make that yellow. It's probably going to be dithered back, but we do want to differentiate it from his chest, so we're gonna do it yellow. We're gonna do it yellow temporarily, and we're gonna go back and adjust that later, I think. Oh, Anna has been doing a lot of drawing with the family lately. You can't seem to get the hang of making anything look 3D. Everything looks just flat. It's hard to represent depth in a picture, whether digital or not. Yeah, I mean that's the whole illusion of it, and I do have trouble with it too. I tend to consider myself more of, oh, what happened in here? This is a mess. I tend to think of myself more as a drawer than a painter. Because I tend, when I do illustration, I tend to delineate everything with lines, and I don't use light and shadow to differentiate objects from each other. So I feel like that's what I gravitate toward, and I feel like I think the painters kind of are better at representing 3D objects than drawing is. This is what tricky here, because his peck is definitely dark gray, but if we do it dark gray, we're going to lose that shape. So we're going to have to, and we're also losing those lines in the crease of his arm here, so we're going to have to go back. That kind of got lost in the down sampling. So we're going to get in there and just pop them back in, and if we want to change them, adjust them later, we can. But yeah, art style is more illustration style. I love linear drawing. I love even just like Tintin style, and just more 2D art is my preference. I love them both, of course, but what inspires me the most is the 2D stuff, the drawing, because I guess that is kind of what I feel like I'm better suited toward. But you know, everyone feels like they're one thing they're better at than other things. But let's see what we have here. Yeah, this yellow is ridiculous. We need to completely lose it. And this is completely going to have to get redone. It's a complete disaster. I can't even see anything here, so I'm going to just scrub it completely out and do it myself. His sash goes around here. Yeah, it's almost feels like wiping a countertop off that just has too much stuff. And I do find this kind of soothing to do. And we're gonna get back in here. We're probably gonna make this smaller too. That piece. Oh, wonderful, Anna! Your mom, dad, and you and Jacob have been drawing a few times a week since March. Just objects in front of us, but it's fun looking at everybody's. And I think that's the most important thing. I guess in anything really, when you're getting started, is not being too critical, and just enjoying the process. I still have trouble with that myself, because you want to judge everything, and it gets discouraging if you feel like you're not doing something to the level you would like. That also makes it hard for me to start new things. I think it's really good to have a philosophy of lifelong learning and not be afraid to be bad at something to start. But I don't know, I do have to remind myself to enjoy the process. I think I need to draw that nipple, because I need that landmark. So let's get in there. Hope it's safe for work to do this. I think I read the Twitch thingy, and they said male nipples are fine, so should be fine. It's too. No, don't like. Come on. Nope. Nope, too high. It's one of those things that Jim was saying. It's too big or too small. That's what we get. Judith Butler's lover, thank you for dropping by. Happy Halloween. Oh, wow, it's super late there. Good night, good night, good night, good night. Flora asks, is there a way to do pixel art in Photoshop, but each pixel is like a 10 by 10 block? Yeah, I think you can make brush sizes that are just blocks for sure. Right now you can see, I don't know if you can, it's really small. I'm using 1 by 1 pixel block. It's 2 by 2, 4 by 4, I guess. But as it gets bigger, you see it's getting rounded out. But you can make your own custom brushes. And Acebright will do that as well. So yeah. If you want, it's definitely a thing that can happen. So let's see. We're gonna delineate this part nicely. And we're gonna use some straight lines for this. Yep. And yeah, this is get in there with the rib area here. We're gonna go into his like I guess his ab here. Draw that back in. We're gonna probably curve this around to show the dimensionality, but we're gonna probably have to dither that back later. What else do we have here? Oh yeah, we need that. That's this. Oh yeah, definitely. Jim plays games. You can size it up to 10 times afterwards. You just have to make sure when you do size it up, you do when you resample the image, you do nearest neighbor filtering, which is what it's on right now. These other ones are more like for photos than anything to sort of smooth out those edges. But because we're doing pixel art, we want to keep those edges super jaggy, super sharp. So as long as you have that at nearest neighbor, then you can do that. It's no problem. And I tend to do that. So for the EGA portrait commissions that I do sometimes, I would size them up after, because yeah, the working sizes for those pieces are like 100 by 100, I think I do. And then I size them up to whatever, whatever denomination, whatever multiple that is. Usually like 400 by 400 or something is usually good enough for people, depending on what it's used for. I tend to specify it can be used for like avatars and stuff, online avatars. So you can't commission something for however much money I'm charging nowadays and then just turn around and put it on t-shirts to sell it or whatever. It's basically just for social media stuff. In which case it's, I think, is, it's not, usually it's square, so I do a square composition. Back in 15, alright, and I see you later. Yeah, Jim plays games. Yeah, I learned this I think someone helped me on Twitter. Especially with pixel art, you kind of have to make it really big, so that it still kind of does it, I think, but the bigger it is, then the less smudgy it gets. Yeah, yeah, I was horrified. When my first few animated GIFs were just, they were, yeah, disastrous. Oh, you know what? Let's bring back his clavicle here. Yeah, so let's take another glance at how we're doing. Yeah, this is coming together pretty well, I think. Oh, not layer mask. Layer. No, Windows layers. Let's see what we've got. Yeah. Yep. It's good to always take a step back, see what you're up to. But, yeah, moving on. I see the part that's bothering me the most now is still the chest area. I do want to keep it very much what Jen has done here, so we're not going to reinvent the wheel. But I want to make sure this is not making any sense. Yeah. A lot of stuff gets lost. And I guess I like the hatching that happens too. There's also some very subtle hatching, and I appreciate that in digital art occasionally. Let's see. And I think for the sash as it goes around his body, we might keep this brown. I think we will. But it's something you can see the line got broken up, which is actually a nice technique. But because we know this is a black outline, we're just going to kick it back to black. And yep, do this. Yeah, I don't know, it's really relaxing to just redefine the stuff that got lost. Jim Plays the Games, thank you so much for dropping by, and have a great night. We'll see you sometime soon, I hope. Well, you know, with any luck, this will be finished tonight. Even if I have to kind of do it off stream a little bit, post it tomorrow. And the chevrons, of course, are getting lost, which means I definitely want to go back and do those. First, let's get that form. Let's see here. And there. Oops. You know what? No. This has to be moved down. But did anyone else watch anything scary for Halloween? Or have that as a thing that they do? Because I gotta say, I didn't really eat any candy, because I'm not really a candy person, but I try to watch something. And I know we started really late, of course. This is just... So, you know, whenever you need to go, of course, I don't think I need to tell you guys, yeah. If you need to go, please do, but I'm glad you guys have come for a little bit to hang out. Just have some fun. And I think this is probably the first time I've dressed up for Halloween in quite some time, so it's good for that too. I want to work on this. This skull is really cool. I think I'm going to go back in and do some of that. But first, let's finish up this chest area. Actually, this bicep is bothering me. It just almost feels like I follow the path of what is bothering me the most, and it tends to be the thing that's closest to the next thing. So, yeah, it's going to be this. And just all these little bits. Over the treetops, my friends and I hang out in a cemetery around sunset, drink mulled wine and read a Hawthorne short story. That does sound like a great time. You know, the fun little things. I think I think that's what life's about a lot of the time. The fun little things you can do, especially if you can do it with friends. Yeah, the next thing that bothers me. I don't know. I don't know if I have any friend traditions that I do for any particular occasion. Maybe I should get into that, look into some of that. Peevish Dave, welcome. Thank you for dropping into stream. Yeah, we're doing an EGA demake of this beautiful Hades piece by, I believe it's Jen Zee who did it. And yeah, we're making some progress. I'm just following along the drawing right now, in terms of what I'm gonna tackle next. Because as soon as I kind of resolve slightly a little bit, that's where we've gotten so far. I desperately want to fix this hand and these beautiful wraps that are on his wrists. They're completely lost here, so that's all that we're doing now. I'm just following the trail of fun. And yeah, you know, the funny thing is that I have never seen any of these Ring movies or Ju-on or Grudge or whatever it's called. I've never seen a movie with Sadako in it. But I saw, you know, I'm aware of the character, and I figured it would be something pretty easy for me to accomplish with you know, little to no investment on my part. This was a $3 tube of really cheap white makeup from Spirit Halloween. I was actually shocked by how cheap it was, and I'm kind of scared to have it on my face for any length of time, but yeah, the price was right. Kind of stung going on too, which is a little concerning, but you know, it's not my everyday thing, so you know, it's probably fine, right? All right. Oh, this yellow. I'm not even looking at what I should be replacing the yellow with. I just am sick of it. I don't want to see it anymore. Okay. So far, I don't think anyone in stream has played this game, although I hear nothing but good things. And I don't think I can, because I think it's a bit much for my computer as it is. I'm still using my 8-year-old Microsoft Surface Pro 2, which I've come to appreciate more now that I've tried to upgrade once. It does what I need it to do. So, what I really like also about this wrap is the way that the lighting here, the line extends past the lighting. Something about that I just find really pleasing. Actually. Oh, the Luxfox also has not played it. Yeah, I don't think I've ever played any Supergiant games, but I know their art is amazing on their stuff. And I think, I don't know, I guess I'm really biased about it because my background is art. I think the visuals in the game, it's such a huge part, so important. You know, to make your game stand out from other games. I'd like to think so anyway. Oh, you know what? We're gonna throw in some of the light red here, because what we have is that light on the arm, and we want to continue that up the forearm. So we're gonna do that. We might no, we won't do it with the arm here, because you can see that it doesn't do the same thing there. So we're not gonna do that. But it looks slack. I need to fix it again. And continuing that nice light up here. And what do we have? Need here and here. And then here. Great. Getting somewhere. What other games you think would be good for me to demake eventually? Something that is cool for the kids nowadays, but also eminently doable in the style. I'd be interested. Although I haven't done one of these types of streams in quite a while. Maybe I should mix it up a little bit though. This also has to thicken up. Because I did really enjoy that Kentucky Route Zero. It took me 4 hours to do it. You guys, if you guys were here, you remember that. But I really feel, you know, after working on the same piece of art asset for my own game for months at a time, you really feel like you get something done in 4 hours when you can show it online to people. It's just really nice. Something about getting a result, and I guess that's why people like game jams and stuff so much. You walk away and you have something that you can show people that's done. Unlike this. Well, I mean, unlike the game art I've been doing on the live streams. And you're the last person to know what's cool for kids nowadays, Lux Talks. I know, and I realize just even asking that question makes me sound extremely out of touch, but that's probably because I am. What is happening in there? Let's just make this black for now. So these little touches of green are just magical to me. I can't really explain why they're there, but they are working for me really well. You know, judging from the people who tend to be in chat, I guess most of us can't really speak to what the kids are into nowadays. Okay, yeah, let's just go ahead and do the hand. Okay. Oh boy. So this is where I'm probably going to start pulling this white out for the most prominent. You know what, let's get the black in first and let's try to get some shape here. And I should ask Dan if he can stream on this coming Tuesday or not. I don't know. Dan, as you guys know, has been taking a course and he's been really busy, so I'm not sure what we're going to be doing. But we'll see. There will be a stream. Whatever it might be, there will be a stream. This is where. Yeah, all this pattern stuff, we're just gonna. I will do it, but I don't need it now. Let's make that. That looks like that should have been cyan in the first place, so let's just do that. Is it blue all the way down, you think? Yep. Just do that. Ooh, then we lose all the other stuff. Okay, maybe not. All right. I'll keep it like that for now. It's probably gonna get dithered. Imminent dithering. So let's get into that hand and this whole sword arrangement. Oh my gosh. Yep. First things first. I can't even look at this right now. Lost Train Dude says that game jams can be great experiences, especially if you manage to not destroy yourself with sleep deprivation. Yeah, that's another thing about sleep deprivation is I find I just I can't recover from them as well as before. So I just won't do it to myself because I'll be messed up for days. Let's just completely get rid of all those colors. And I feel like for me, I need to really think about stuff before I feel comfortable proceeding with anything. I'm pretty deliberate that way, so I don't know if I would feel comfortable working on something just without having thought about it for a long time. And this, my own game is a prime example of that. I just thought about it and thought about it and thought. I mean, there's something to be said for going through something quickly, but I find it stressful to make decisions quickly. Oh, Shina Gawaku. Thank you. Glad you like the makeup. It's my Halloween attempt. And it was scarier before in lower light, but I feel like it's good enough now. Welcome to stream. Yeah, we're just we're gonna work our way through this Hades thing, see how far we get. I don't know how long this is gonna go. I would like to have it finished, but I don't know if that's a reasonable expectation today. It's I want that knuckle. Let's do that. But I do want to finish it because once I get started, I definitely want to show it, and I can't do that until it's done. So I'll definitely get there at some point. I just don't know if I'm gonna have you guys with me when that happens. All right. And yeah, I think I've told you guys before on multiple streams that I'm the kind of person that needs to know the restaurant I'm going to ahead of time, if I can, so I can choose what I want to eat before I get to the restaurant. So, game jam is not really, I don't think, a good fit for me. Yeah, Anna, with this nipple, what I did was, obviously in the reference here, it's a black line, but I felt it would be a bit too harsh to do the black line all the way around like this one. So that's why I cheated and went with dark gray so it doesn't stand out so much. Because at this resolution, that hard line is going to be too prominent for that slim line. So, I mean, I could try again and see what I think about it if I make the nipple completely black around, but I don't know. That was my artist instinct talking. Let's go down to the hilt. Ooh, the hilt has some nice stuff going on that I really like. Oh, Shinagawaku, why is it important to choose what to eat beforehand? Well, for me, it's just the decision making is difficult for me at the time. I have a hard time picking something. I feel like the pressure of picking something while also trying to be social. That's the kind of thing I have trouble deciding off the cuff. So I like to just go in with have an idea of what I like or want, and then maybe have some alternatives, and then whatever I feel like at the time. But I don't like just going in blind because there's just too much to take in a menu usually. I know that's an unusual thing. I know that most people don't have that problem, but I mean, of course, that doesn't always happen, and it's not a huge deal if it doesn't happen. But if I could prefer one way over the other, I definitely prefer knowing ahead of time. I feel like this intermediate color in that green, I want that to not, well, I'll leave it. I'm thinking it should be another color, but I can't think of a good reason yet. Oh, it should stay. If you don't think ahead with food, Anna, you're not very considerate with yourself? Oh, Shinagawaku, you tend to order the same thing, same meal every time. That there's something to be said for that, you know. Um, because sometimes you just know if it's if it's a good thing and you like it. Sometimes you just know. But I have trouble picking. Well, so what do you like to order? There's some things I tend not to order on a restaurant menu. I tend not to order hamburgers and stuff because I feel like fast food hamburgers are okay enough for me just to eat, and they're way cheaper than the stuff in the restaurants. Although of course I'm sure the restaurant hamburgers are much better. So I rarely order a hamburger at a restaurant. Oh, there you go, Shinagawaku. Oh, good, you become a regular. It's efficient. You don't need to order after the 12th time. That's another cool thing actually. When the place gets to know you, I think that's a really cool level to have. That familiarity. So there's a bit of a line here. It's really faint though. I might do it dark gray. So my instinct is to go dark gray for that part. Okay. Carry the black up here. Make this more yellow. And yeah. Oh, you know what? Maybe just a little bit still. Yep, at the Lux Talks, you have a weakness for frou-frou restaurants that serve fancy dishes at $35 a plate, but you never go because who wants to pay that kind of money? Well, like, those would be the special occasion, once a year type of places. I like a good diner, you know. I find that if the restaurant's very fancy, I have a hard time relaxing there. That's just me personally, though. It's my level of familiarity with nice places, I guess. Is that what that speaks to more than anything else? Oh, see that? It's a terrible stray pixel. Yeah, and also, yeah, of course, Anna makes a good point. A good way to prevent is going out, just to avoid going out and save money, for sure. I will say that if I'm going to go to eat expressly for a place, then I will tend to order, not be too scared to order because like I'm here already, so I should get the thing. And that happens in like good Japanese restaurants. Sakanakao. Oh, thank you, Sakanakao. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. Just for you guys, I'll turn on Spooky Vision real quick. I love the graininess of my bad camera. At least it's working for me now. When I did this on Friday, I told you guys I had a group industry call thing. When I did this, 3 people asked me if my face was a mask. I get it. Okay. Hey, Afarama, good to see you. Deluxe Tech says, guys, it was nice knowing you all. Seems like I'm going to drop dead on Tuesday. I told you, I have not seen these movies. All I know is the makeup. So, my bad. Let's go back here. Ooh, going on a Halloween tour with the kids. Have a nice night. Nana, have a wonderful night. Thank you for dropping in. So good to see you all, of course, always. I might actually do a double thick line on this hilt, because that's what I'm seeing right now. Yeah, I think we'll do that. But yes, thank you so much for the raid. Yeah, we're working on this beautiful piece from Hades. Oh, And I can show you the progress so far. You know, we're just working in some of those areas. Working my way. It's always good to take a look at your work from further out to see what needs to be changed. Like the shape of that hilt is not quite right yet, but you know, it's one of those things where I'll say I'll leave it and go back to it and maybe just never go back to it. Although I think I will go a pixel further down for that. But I think I want the yellow to be this much further down, like that. Come to think of it. 4 a.m. Lost Train Dude? Yes, have a great night. I hope you had have a great rest of your weekend, for sure. And thank you for stopping by. It's good to see you. We both would have been at Adventure X right now. if it was on today. I mean on this year, unfortunately. I know. Yeah, I got to meet Lost Train Dude along with a bunch of other adventure game people in London last year because I was showing the Crimson Diamond at Adventure X at the British Library, and that was really cool. My first time in London, and I got to show my game there. Okay, let's move it up. Oh, so messy. So messy. All right. Yeah, there's quite a few people that will drop by chat that I've met at Adventure X or another event, so it's really nice to stay in touch with people, for sure. Lost Train Dude says fingers crossed for next year Adventure X. I hope so. I was kind of planning on going this year, even though I wouldn't have been showing the Crimson Diamond because I'd shown it the previous year, but you know, I think that's how it goes. But hopefully, yeah, I'd love to go again. It's really cool because you get, you know, it's the Adventure Game Community International, and all of a sudden you're all in one place, and it feels really local just for a few days, and it's a really nice feeling. I guess this should be gray. I don't want everything to be gray though. I might dither it back, but the closest color is gray, so. Yes, hi Jordy. Jordy GH asks, so does a creepy white ghost face work? How many days do we have to want to live? Is it 3? I have not seen the movies. Well, you know what I'll say. I don't want to say because I don't want to stress people out. So you know, it'll be a surprise for you. How about that? Isn't it more fun that way if you don't know? And Jordy GH, yes, I'm Canadian. I'm in Ontario, Toronto, Ontario. And yeah, the Crimson Diamond is also based there. Yeah, exactly, Jordy GH. Yeah, you don't want to stress out about the day or whatnot, you know. It's better to not know these things. You know, enjoy life. Oh, you're Canadian too as of yesterday, Jordy GH? Congratulations. That's awesome. Welcome. Welcome to being Canadian. And whatever that entails. Oh, Shinagawaku? Yeah, Crimson Diamond's going well. I'm hoping to release it next year. I don't know when, but next year. Yeah, that's definitely the goal. There are 7 planned chapters, and I am on chapter 4. I'm building chapter 4 right now, so it's pretty encouraging to think that there's an end to it coming. Wow, that other eye got completely destroyed on this skull. Yeah, Lost Train Dude, Adventure X, the best thing is the company. Seeing people. And it's kind of like London, I guess, is kind of like a central location for people in Europe in a way, so yeah. Oh, you ate Hawaiian pizza and poutine today to celebrate? Well done. I'm glad Dan's not here so he can't complain about how Hawaiian pizza isn't pizza. I think it is. I'm a Canadian, and that's something that you need to say yes to before they let you in. So yeah, you've passed. So I can tell you've passed. and poured maple syrup on the poutine. Okay, that's going a bit far. We'll allow it because of your enthusiasm. Will take you far. When you become Canadian, Justin Trudeau mails you a bottle of maple syrup. That would be nice. So what we have here is, yeah, we're losing the shapes of this laurel here. So we're going to need to go back and model that. But first we need to deepen up the shadow that we're seeing here, because it's not doing what it's supposed to do for me. Oh, Shinagawaku, have I thought about scaling up and building a team for the next one? That's a good question. I mean, I have an idea of what I want the next thing to be. And it will be, I feel like it's going to be a larger scale game. It's not going to be massive or anything, but just like Crimson Diamond is very small. It's very restricted to a small set of locations. It's going to be about probably about 80 rooms total, maybe 100. But nothing more than that. So it's not a huge game. And for the player, it's not a huge game either because you're not really going to a lot of different places. So I will say that it will be on the larger scale in terms of, the kinds of stuff you'll be doing. But in terms of building a team, I don't know. Right now it's me and Dan working together. And I don't know, I will never say never to building a team for the next one. There's a few things that kind of would prevent me from doing that. And one of them is, when you add more people, that kind of multiplies how much money you have to make and how many units you have to sell before you can declare that it was, something that was a successful thing that you can continue to do. So that would probably be the number one thing that is standing in my way from actually building a team. Because I think the margins on adventure games can be pretty small, and the smaller your team is and everything, I think it can go a long way to determining whether it's a feasible business proposition, really. So that's one of the reasons. Another reason is I don't really have any experience managing people. I've been an illustrator freelance for 10 years before I started doing game dev, so I don't have a lot of experience working on teams, and that is to my disadvantage for sure. It's a skill that I'm trying to get better at, but I do lack that somewhat. And I don't know, I mean, working on teams is one thing, but managing teams is a complete other thing. And I don't know if I have, the skill set or the inclination to really be able to do that effectively. So that would be another issue. Oh wow, Justin Trudeau showed up to your online ceremony, which made you really excited at RDGH. That's cool. Tonda, good to see you. Yeah, this is spooky. This is our spooky stream tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna give me 1 second. I'll quickly give you the full effect here. 1 second. It's just me tonight. Dan is unavailable. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you the quick. For anyone who's come late and wanted to see the full. Put the hair over the face. Yeah. So that's that. Yeah. Good to see you, Tonda. I'm gonna shout you out. Tonda has a great channel where he streams retro games. It's really chill and nice. So I'm gonna do that real quick. and then we'll continue onward. Yeah. Yeah. Tonda is a good, chill, wholesome streamer. Let's see what we're up to. Oh yeah, and also Tonda is an artist too, so I'm gonna give Tonda just a. We're doing an EGA demake of this Hades screen, Tonda, and we've been working on it for a little while. We've just gotten that far. Oh, no, my pleasure to chat you out. Yeah, it's going okay so far. I've just been saying how therapeutic it is just to do this. It's a lot of fun to just get in there and take something that kind of got mashed up in the the de-resing process and find it again. There's something about the process of that it's really super relaxing, actually. Although the nose is getting lost here. And the eye totally got lost. I might have to do a cheat here to maybe make this 1 pixel bigger, because I don't think there's enough room here to get that second eye in, fortunately. No, there just isn't. Okay, hold on. How much room do we have? Yeah, Tonda does illustration as an artist and cool streamer guy. How much of this can we claw back? I don't think we can do much better than that. Nope. Oh, thanks, Tonda. Oh, I feel like this needs completely to be redone. Yeah, I'm gonna move the nose over just a little, so I don't have to make this bigger. Yep. Okay. Ah. Quickly check that. Oh, Jody GH, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, usually I'm streaming on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, and usually it's not a demake. Usually it's my own stuff, but special night, so a special thing today. Oh man, I don't know if I can do it. This eye got mashed up. The other eye got mashed up. It's gonna need more fixing than this, I think. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna cheat it. It's impossible to get that other eye in there. That's not bad. I'll accept it. Yes, good night, Last Train Dude. Thanks for coming by. What else do we have here? And yeah, let's move on to the sword, I think, after we've kind of done this to a satisfactory extent. Okay. On the laurel. But in case I do another one of these, is there any one in particular that anyone would be interested in seeing? The EGA make? Cool, something the cool kids are playing nowadays or not? We could do anything, I guess. Sakana Cow is asking, is the skull on his sword a decoration or can it talk? And that's a good question that I can't answer because I have not played this game, unfortunately. I was actually I don't think I'll do this because I think it'd be way too hard to do, but I was actually, because I've been playing Return of the Obra Dinn, and I was thinking, wouldn't it be funny to add color to Return of the Obra Dinn? But I think that's a bit ambitious. Tondo says that would be wild. I don't know if it's a thing that I can do. I think it might look horrific in EGA because it's so specifically designed to be black and white that I think I would wreck it and it would be an abomination. So maybe let's not. I just like the idea though because I love that game so much. Deluxe Tech says I could demake Empire of Sin as a Christmas present for Dan. That's not a bad idea. The thing is with games like that, and one of the reasons I did not do like a game screenshot of Hades, and I instead went with this promo art, is because when the art is so small in high res, then it's like when you make it low res, it completely disappears in a way that might not even be salvageable. You know, think of something like Diablo 3 or something, and you want to take that to downsize it to 40%, and you know it literally looks like nothing. So I don't know if that's something that I could actually do with Empire of Sin because I feel like it'd be that same problem. A color version of the manhole? I don't know that game, Sakanako, and I'm not sure if I want to know that game. So later port, they changed a bunch of stuff that you didn't like. Ooh. Yeah, that's another thing. A game that I do want to have eventually would be Loom, but I only want the EGA version of Loom. I don't want the VGA one, and it's not apparently free, like available legit, which is a terrible thing. Because of course, naturally, I do want the EGA version. Because I think that game does look best in EGA, and I think most games do. Well, I mean that when there's two versions to pick from, I almost always will pick the EGA version if there's a choice. But I think I think everyone here can understand that that's just me. Oh, okay. The Manhole was a Mac classic game by Cyan, who later made Myst. Okay. Kind of click room to room and poke at things, and they do amusing things. It's very kid friendly. Why is it called that? Is it in a sewer? Hmm. The manhole. It's very strange. I think this can't have a line here. It starts in front of a manhole. You can go down it or you can go away from it. Okay. Okay, there's no progression in manhole. It's kind of a toy box. Okay. Okay, that's okay. I kind of I don't know a lot of old games, and I don't have a console, and I don't really I've never really owned one growing up. I mean, console wise, so I don't have a lot of experience with anything, and I don't have any experience with AAA games and all that. So I don't know when people talk about the new stuff. Like this, for instance, I haven't played this, so everyone I meet inevitably knows way more about this stuff than I do. Okay. It's not bad, I don't think. Well, let's move on to the rest of... I think that is resolving itself better. Yep, it's better. Oh, nice black and white art. They remade it in color for DOS, and not as tastefully. Unfortunately, that's the version you'll find on Steam. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, I don't... I don't know why people think more is better. Let's see, 11:11. No, I don't know what I'll do here. Maybe we'll take it to midnight. We'll see how far we get. Would be fun to work on some of these skulls, but let's just see how we. Yeah, we're getting there. Sword should be pretty quick. Ooh, you know what else would be fun? This cool head thing. But I might move to the skulls because that is the, I'm kind of getting not tired, but I've used a lot of the same colors, and the skulls will be an opportunity to use some other colors. So we'll probably move into that after I finish this sword. So let's see here. Oh, I see. Interesting. With most things like that, you find the original version became a hit. They later converted it to VGA or whatever. Usually the conversion is done cheaply and by different people. Huh. It's a bit of a shame. Yeah, I usually, when it comes to remakes, even if it's not an EGA thing, usually with any remake, I tend to not like the remake as much as the original. Go with the white. Yeah, it just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't have the same charm, I guess. But you're talking to someone who's making an EGA game, so you know that I'm going to be pretty biased about it. This doesn't go this far. That's a mess. I'm going to get rid of all this first. Oof, too much. Is that, yeah, it's, well, maybe not. Maybe it'll be fine. That's fine. Great. I don't know if I can share any development news or anything right now. Except the fact that I have one more scene to kind of animate in chapter 4 before I move on to last section of chapter 4. I'm always, when I'm streaming, so aware that I don't want to make this boring for you guys. But I don't know, it's kind of nice to be in a zone and just work, I guess. Which is kind of what I was thinking of doing anyway, but if you guys don't mind, then I don't mind. If I don't say much. Not the black. That sword doesn't look straight. It doesn't look straight here either. Oh, maybe it is. Mine isn't. Hmm. Hmm. Is that is that sword noticeably bendy? Is it bending for anybody else? Because I kind of want to leave it and move on to something else, but it's definitely bending. Okay. Oh no. Oh, good. I think. Okay. 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 Yes. Oh, Reef Erickson. Thank you. You noticed? Didn't notice until I pointed it out. You know, that's the. Thank you. I will fix it then. I was already going to go to fix it. You know, might as well make it right the first time. Yeah. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Oops. B. And at this resolution, I can hardly complain about having to do that. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, good. I wonder if the other side is also crooked. Maybe we can get away with just fixing one edge. Oh yeah, second account. I've only added a few layers for just this sword. I'm gonna merge it properly. I mean, probably. Yeah, I think I'm gonna probably merge all this after. We're gonna go back to 2. Why not? And then go in here and put that the light gray in the blade. Yeah, it's you know. Actually, whatever. Yeah, when it's not my own thing that I'm doing and it's just like a demake, this looks like I could easily do it, get it done in just a couple layers. Oh, Reef Erickson, thank you. Thank you for saying, you know, that you're liking what you're seeing so far. And welcome to any lurkers. I do appreciate, you know, of course, don't feel any need to say anything, because I tend to lurk on streams too. But, you know, it's nice to know that you guys are there and having a nice time. Second account, like weird to do computer graphics without layers. Like, I remember, you know, MS Paint, of course, and all the rest of it. I don't think I did anything real serious with with graphics until layers did exist. That sounds kind of horrific to me. Oh, let's clean up. Oh, there's some nice ruins on this sword. And some chevron looking things, which are kind of nice. So let's do the chevron. Let's keep the chevron brown. It is warmer. Yeah, I can't imagine. You know, undo and layers and stuff. Dark times. Ooh. This is gonna be an interesting part to. Yeah, here's the thing is, you know, I love digital art, but it also kind of does make us perfectionist in a way that when you're working with real media, you can't really afford to be. So I do like the spontaneity of real stuff, but you know. And I mentioned before when I was doing freelance illustration, I started doing silkscreen printing, but it was way too time intensive for the budgets and stuff, and so I eventually just went to digital. And then for the longest time, I did my sketches by hand still, and then progressed to digital finishing. And then my last stage, which I only did, so I did freelance illustration for about 10 years. And the last stage was doing the sketch in digitally and then doing the final digitally. And I didn't get there until maybe the last couple of years that I was doing it. Oh, Reef Erickson, thank you. You're really looking forward to seeing the finished product of my game. Thank you. No, I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. It started as a hobby project, and kind of, it's been progressing from there. But I have spent a lot of time on it. Although I like to say, when people ask me how long I've been working on it, I like to say I've only been working full time on it since about fall 2018. Because before that, there was no Crimson Diamond website or anything like that. I wasn't really doing anything on Twitter. It kind of all started with showing it at Wordplay in Toronto, and then I thought I'd give it a go. Not with these ruins. But yeah, I mean, I started it. I've been working on it on and off for 10 years, the game, and I kind of don't like saying that because I feel like that's a really long time to be working on something. And then, the whole thing is when you're making something and you want to sell it and you tell people that you've been making it for 10 years, then it kind of makes it almost impossible to, make your money back, even if it's one person doing it. So that's another thing about, for the next game, which I do want to do. For the next game, do I want to hire more people and expand the game out? More people and more time are two things that kind of make it less of a possibility and make it less possible to make that money back or even make a little money. Because yeah, I don't anticipate that it's gonna sell like crazy or anything, I'm trying my level best to give it the best chance possible it has to do well, but you can't really decide that. You can just try. So Sakanaka, you worked on your game for 5 years and you don't want to tell people how long it took? Exactly. Oh, thank you, Reef Erickson. You grew up with Parser Adventure games, specifically Sierra games, and you're saying I should take my time. And I know it's hard. It's hard for me to do that sometimes, and I appreciate when people do tell me to do that because it's encouraging for me to know that people are willing to wait. One second. I guess the way I see it is, there haven't been a lot of text parser games for the past 30 years, so I guess people don't mind waiting for an extra year or two. Huh. Yeah, you're saying at least I'm doing it, Reef Erickson? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it started as this hobby, and then I thought, I should teach myself how to make the thing I want to make. I still barely know how to code. I only know enough coding to get by. But I am now confident that I know enough to do it. Let's move up to a skull. I feel like we're making some... But yeah, it's a thing. What I really respect about indie devs, and I put a let's play of ooh, what happened there? I put a let's play of Hugo's House of Horrors on my YouTube that apparently the audio cuts out after. Ooh, that's not good. Something on the wrong layer. Hugo's House of Horrors. I put up a video on demand today. And apparently the audio cuts out after 40 minutes and never comes back, so apologies for anyone who wanted to watch that. But David P. Gray is someone I find really inspiring because he was a solo indie game dev in the early 90s, and he was not the world's greatest artist or anything, but he didn't let that stop him from making games. And he made three games that people really fondly remember to this day. And I have a lot of respect for that. Exactly, Reef Erikson. The Hugo games have so much charm, and he didn't, yeah, like I said, he didn't let it stop him. The fact that he said, oh, I can't draw, or whatever, like he doesn't have any formal training. And the first couple games, Hugo 1 and Hugo 2, he had a few things that he bought clip art for, like the haunted house at the very beginning. But for the most part, he just drew it himself. He said, what the heck, I'm going to just do this. And then he did. And look, we have these things to enjoy. And how many people do you think have enjoyed the Hugo's games over the years? So I love that attitude. Yeah, the graphics are pretty awesome in 3. He hired someone for 3 to do the art for 3. So that's kind of why that looks different. But I still think the first couple do have a lot of charm, like you say. You know, and then I look at like Francisco Gonzalez with the Ben Jordan games, right? And his first few games, he's not a trained artist either, but he did not let that stop him from making games. And he made, you know, 8 Ben Jordan games. And I find that super inspiring too. You know, he did the thing. You know, don't let anything stop you, really. And so I kind of tried to take that same lesson when I started making the Crimson Diamond, because I didn't know how to do any programming. Really, I'd taken a few bits here and there in school, but nothing that would have led me to be able to make a whole game or anything. But I decided to just give it a shot, because, you know, the only one telling me not to do it was me, really. I'm kind of freehanding with a mouse. I don't know. Great thing is that everything is very easily fixable. Oh, Reef Erikson. So yeah, a few months ago you asked if one of my rooms was inspired by Hugo. 6 months ago. I do get a fair number of people saying, which actually really surprised me and pleased me. Like when I show the game at events, you know, I ask people what this game reminds them of, and a surprising number of people said Hugo, which just goes to show again how his kind of can-do attitude really worked for him. I don't remember that specific instance, Reef Erikson, but I do remember other people asking me that. And yeah, it definitely had a lot to do. You know, because I don't know, for me, inspiration, there's a very sweet spot to getting inspired by something. And this is not, you know, all the time. But if something is so good that I don't understand how the person accomplished it, then I find it actually not inspiring, because I feel like I can't see how that happened. But if it's something where, you know, the person went ahead and did the thing, and I can see how that happened, I really want to do it too. You know, it makes me feel like I can do that too. And that's what inspires me. Oh yes, and Reeve Erikson, of course, the main inspiration is Laura Bow for sure. And of course, I have to shout out Doug Herring, who was the artist for Lower Bow, The Colonel's Bequest, which is available on GOG, it's lovely. It's definitely my favorite. And yeah, text parser, EGA, mystery game. Definitely see where I'm coming from there. You have a few copies, Reef Erikson? I I have a big box of it. I never had the original. I had the original Dagger of Amon-Ra. I still have it. So that's one that I also really like. I like that game a lot. The art direction on that one was really strong. It was very Art Deco, and I love Art Deco. But for the next game that I do, I don't think I'm going to be making the jump to EGA to VGA. I think I'm sticking with EGA. Although I wouldn't mind doing some small game projects in a different color palette. Like I would love to do like an AGI style game maybe one day, or like a CGA game. But I don't think I would do a whole game that in that style because I think I prefer the EGA SCI style better because I love dithering so much. But I would love to explore those palettes. Yeah, deluxe tux. Yeah, Hugos are pretty good. They're kind of tough and um, not that intuitive sometimes. So definitely play with a walkthrough. But it's really cool to just experience that and know that one guy did that all by himself, you know, and so many people have enjoyed it. Yeah, if you're experienced, yeah, the Hugo stuff. Yes, dithering, Tanda. Yeah, dithering is magic. Dithering is. I don't know. I can't even say what I like the most about it, but it surprises me all the time. And now that we've settled on a day break for the piece that I'm working on in my own game art for the art streams that we do on Tuesdays, I feel like the dithering has really helped that particular screen so much, and I I learn stuff all the time when I'm dithering, and you just never know until you try it. Where's this yellow here? Actually, I kind of don't mind the cyan bits in his eyeball because it kind of makes it part of the rest of the skull. Although there, of course, is no cyan bits in his eyeball as they are. But you see, the difficulty here is that there's some gradation in there, so that's kind of where I'm reading that cyan fitting. But it's a matter of interpretation. So let's see. Yeah. So what was nice was when I changed the index color, it kept these beautiful green lines, so it helped me to have a landmark for where those should be. So I really appreciate that. It's a nice convenience. Ooh, Eric the Unready. VGA looks good in that one. Yeah, Eric the Unready was always VGA, right? The way they use the palette on that is really nice. I do have Eric the Unready. I think I bought it on GOG. Haven't. Another one of those added to the pile of stuff I haven't played yet. I'll get there. I don't know if I'll get there. Maybe one day. I don't know that song actually, but it's a good song. And I want to pull in some of that light. Ooh, Reef Erikson, you say that Hugo was the first adventure game you beat in the 90s. I think it's probably exposed a lot of people to adventure games that might not have otherwise because it was always on, those CDs of like 50 games or whatever. That's probably my first exposure to it. And people who might not necessarily have gone for an adventure game got to kind of experience that game because it was just one of the other, part of the package really. Yeah, sure, exactly. I was talking about how you only played it at a friend's house, Eco Cecil Horrors, when you were a kid. Yeah, it's one of those weird childhood memories a lot of us carry around with us. Hmm. Oh yeah. That's not gonna work. Here. And I do believe, at least from interviews I've read of David P. Gray, he made enough money from Hugo and stuff to stop his regular job, which of course is always the dream. So even more props to him for that. Hmm. And speaking of inspirations, Francisco Gonzalez, who also does streaming on his Grindislav Games channel, his adventure game that was also built in AGS, Adventure Game Studio, which is the engine I'm using to build the Crimson Diamond. He just released Lamplight City on iOS, which is super crazy exciting. I don't think that's an option I will take advantage of. I don't think it's, you know, possible for me because my game is a text parser game. But I think that's a really exciting opportunity for more traditional point and click. Although it would be kind of cool, I think, to get Crimson Diamond on I think a mobile phone would work better than an iPad. But, you know, that'd be a good problem to have. Tend to decide if that's feasible or not. But for now, we're just working with PC release, Windows PC, and Mac OS. I think as long as Edenwaith is amenable to providing a Mac OS version of it, because he's the only reason the demo exists in that form. Ooh, that really sticks out. I'm gonna change that to the gray probably. It's too obvious. Especially because the focal point is Zagreus, so we don't want that to happen there. Yeah, not bad. That's interesting. Well, the only thing I can really think of to say over the top of my head is to the piece that we're working on the art dev streams. When I do make another postcard, it definitely will be that. I think I've said that already before, though. We're probably going to shut this down at midnight, which I feel is appropriate because then I suppose Halloween is officially over. But I've had fun just updating my Twitter profile pic, which I never do, to something more seasonal, more Halloween appropriate. But yeah, November's here, you guys. Where did the time go? Oh, that's what's happening here. I feel weird about time moving faster and faster. Um, I guess because last year in November, October, I had a pretty memorable time in London, so I distinctly remember that. And now the fact that that part of the year has come around again is kind of amazing to me. And I do feel like time goes by faster as I get older. Which I read, this is just someone's opinion, I read that it's a function of how much of percentage of your life does 1 year represent. When you're young, when you're 10 and you turn 11, that year is 10% of your life. But as you get older, like if when you become 20, that year is 5% of your life or whatever. You do the math. I'm not a mathematician, but you get the idea. So as you get older, that extra year is less of a fraction of your life every year. So every year you feel like it's shorter because in relative to the rest of your life it is. Huh. Daylight savings is soon, which means we get a whole extra hour of 2020. That's the scariest thing I've heard all day. I don't know. At this point, I'll take every hour I can get. You know, um, time, man. Even if it's this year, I'll still take that hour with a smile on my face. Reef Erickson says, it seems the more diverse our days are, the longer time seems to flow. With COVID, the days are blending together. It sure seems the time is going fast. I can't even, for me though, I can't even use that as my excuse because I kind of already, my days kind of blended together already because I worked my own stuff. I was a freelancer and stuff, so I didn't really keep a regular schedule like other people. But I will say now that more people are that way, it definitely, you know, it feels like a more universal thing that now that I'm not the only one who doesn't know what day it is, it feels normal for no one to know. Whereas before I was just the weird one that couldn't keep track of those things. See, when it comes to this EGA make, I mean, I probably could have finagled this skull with, the filters and the sharpening and the saturation so that I wouldn't have had to draw it back this much. Um, but it would have taken so much time and everything else would have been different too. So I try to make the adjustment pretty quick. And then from there, I know I can fix everything else. So this is an acceptable amount of redrawing for me, really. I mean, if you looked at this now, you wouldn't think that I had just gone back in and redrawn all that just looking at it. Um, but that's part of the whole fun to do it, is to just try to do that. And you know what? It is kind of fun going back to using the mouse to draw again. I don't do that with my own stuff either. It's kind of a novelty for me. Let's see. There we go. And let's see. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird because I remember I went to I visited EGLX. I met an artist, Mike Sasso, who did the art for Baldur's Gate 2. And he said when he did the art for Baldur's Gate 2, he did not have he thinks he can't remember. Either he said he thinks he used a mouse, which I find completely unbelievable. To the point where I think I'm remembering that wrong. But he said I think he used like Photoshop 1 or 2 or something, or some precursor, because that you think Baldur's Gate 2 wasn't that long ago, but it actually was. I don't remember what he used, but I remember being completely taken aback by what he said. And it's amazing to know that yeah, earlier digital artists didn't have a lot of what we have. I don't want to draw this. That's the only thing I can't. Sprite is great for pixel art because it it doesn't do these double up things where you have to clean up these bits to make it just 1 pixel wide. It actually does that automatically, which is kind of magical. I do think Sprite is something I want to learn more, but when it comes to working quick and not even looking at my fingers, that's what I'm doing. I can't beat 15 whatever years of Photoshop CS2. I don't even know. I think CS2 is probably the oldest, the piece of software that people hold on to the most, just from speaking to other game devs. I think a lot of other people move on to other pieces of software, but I know at least a few of us are still using CS2. I don't know. I tried GIMP for a few days and I didn't like it. I don't think I tried Krita or anything else, but I'm always interested in knowing what other people are suggesting. But that was only when I was upgrading or trying to upgrade my machine and I was desperate to find something that worked. And I actually I never really approach hardware upgrading with excitement. I am sad when it happens because I always try to hold on to stuff as long as possible, and usually the reason for upgrading has nothing to do with the hardware that I'm upgrading. It's just everything else that is surrounding that and making it not working with everything else. So for instance, with the Surface Pro 2, my issue is the solid state hard drive just doesn't play well with it. And it's just stuff like that that bothers me, and that's the reason I upgrade stuff. I don't get excited saying this is better than what I have. I never feel that way. It's just like this, everything else that has changed around my hardware has made it harder for me to use what I like using, and that is not a joyful way to upgrade. Especially considering I unsuccessfully tried to upgrade to the Surface Book 2 just last month. But it'll happen eventually, and I understand that. I know people that, I don't know if they're still here, but I know people that do keep older PCs and stuff because it's actually nice to play stuff on the older machines. And I never got into that part of it, but I understand that desire. So we'll be on, I think, for about 8 more minutes, I think. But I think I'll continue to work on this off stream. And I don't know if I'll have it ready tomorrow, but hopefully in the first week of November, I can show you guys the final. I mean, post it on Twitter, of course. Because I think I like where it's going. And I can't wait to get into that dithering, because I think a little bit of subtle dithering will go a long way. Oh, weird. Oh. I didn't notice that the laurel was flying off his head. That's cool. Is it close shape yet? Yes. Yeah, I guess the gray is no longer working here either. So I'll get rid of that. Oh, yeah. It is interesting to me that the arch, I guess it does look green, doesn't it, a little bit, but oof. Oh, no, not there. Oh, there's a little touch of green in there. Just keep it. Okay. Oh my gosh. Ugh, it's the 1 pixel problem. It's not gonna look right. Nice. Okay, so let's see. For a minute left, I should see if there's anyone around to raid. What do we have? It's about that time of night. We're gonna wind down. But let's see what we have. You know what? I think it's a good night for some monster in my pocket. I think that's very thematic. So I'm gonna start a raid up for middle-aged stream. If anyone wants to join in on that. Reef Erickson, thank you so much for coming in tonight. It was a pleasure to chat with you. I'm glad you consider me an inspiration. That's cool. Wow. Yikes. Okay, so I'm going to set up a raid for middle-aged stream and then take off. But thank you, you guys, for coming in and for the surprise stream. Middle-aged stream. Okay. Yeah, thank you for hanging out. You know, I should turn off the light. Thank you for hanging out in the spooky stream tonight. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. And I hope you had fun. And I did. I had a lot of fun doing this night with you guys. So let's see if I can just get that going. Wonderful. Have a good night.